big sheephead. There's a snook right there along that shadow line. They're just stacked with snapper. That's the problem. Man, look at all them snapper. Holy cow, guys. If I could throw a cast net right here. Guys, welcome back to Charlotte Harbor Fishermen. Got a beautiful morning here on Boca Grande, and we're going to be doing a little bit of weight fishing. Going to kind of keep this uncut, so I'm going to put you guys on my chest mount here, and hopefully we can get into enough activity to keep it interesting. And I think we can. I just walked along this dock here that I got permission to fish through from, or under, I should say, and it is loaded with bait. I'm watching them just flicker all along the dock. I see sheephead right in front of me. I see snook. I've got some bait. Let's jump to it. Put you guys right here. You probably can't see it, but sheephead right in front of me. I've got 3 dozen shrimp, 1 dozen hand-picked, and 2 dozen of the smaller size. Because if we get into sheephead, you don't need big bait. And I think we're going to. Yeah, he's on to me now. He's kind of looking at me. I'm not even going to mess with him. He's about 12 inches. Just going with a little 2/0 circle hook. I would use a J-hook if I was specifically targeting these sheephead, but I'm going to try to get into some other critters here. Hopefully some trout, some redfish. That ain't good. First shrimp I grabbed is dead. There we go. So right off the bat, I'm going to try to keep it away from these sheephead and see if I can pick up one of these snook. I saw several good-sized shrimp or snook under the dock when I just walked along it. Water's a little chilly this January morning. The plan is to hit this dock, which is probably going to be the better section of this stretch that I'm going to walk. I can go down past this mangrove branch a little bit, but it's going to get deeper, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it just yet. Maybe as the tide continues to drop, which it is, I'll be able to sneak around that branch. Otherwise, I'm going to work this dock where there's a boat, a lot of good structure, and then I'm going to head down this mangrove shoreline, just kind of pitching it out in front of me. There's a deep canal, basically, dredged out here in front, and the other side of that is a big flat. Unfortunately, the wind is blowing towards me. Man, I'm seeing all kinds of stuff blowing up. A little school of jack or something right there on just off that flat. I have a weighted popping cork. I was going to try to reach that flat, but wind is in the wrong direction. Anyway, it goes down to a mangrove canal, and that's about where the end of my accessibility will end. So, if that's a word. All right. Let's see here. There's a few snook in there. I think I might need to slide underneath this dock, though. Didn't make a great cast. That wind is really kind of blowing. Sorry guys, I got the wind in your face and the sun. I have to kind of go with what I've got, because this is the only spot. Like I said, I got permission here to fish, just to kind of access the water basically from this dock. Otherwise, if I was out in the boat, I would be on the other side. Get that sun out of your face and wind out of your ears, but we gotta take what we can get. This is a little easier than having to bring the boat. It's a great little stretch. Try to fish a couple times here this winter and spring. nice and easy. Just stop by the bait shop, get some bait. I'm gonna come out here and hit some artificial as well, though. Man, I thought the flat, though, across the canal, essentially, the channel was closer. It's pretty far. I would not be able to reach it unless I had a really steady, heavy wind behind me. I can get out in the middle of the channel, obviously. Yeah, but I'm not gonna be able to reach that flat, even on a good day. I'm kind of surprised I haven't got picked up yet. And I patched these waders with the patch they give me, and I patched them good. There we go. That's just a little snapper bite or a little sheephead pecking at me. And, oh, something right in front of me here. And that patch ain't holding. These things are leaking. I can feel it already. Slow leak, but it's a leak nonetheless. And that's what I get for buying cheap pair on Amazon. I guess the good stuff could leak too, but like Grudens, these were $75. I know some of these waders go for $200, $300. I saw some for $400 when I was up in the mountains here recently. But if they don't leak, it sure be nice, because this boot's already filling up. That's it. These are done. Getting rid of them. Getting a better pair. I don't like cold, wet feet. I can't not believe there was multiple snook. I just walked over there. Multiple snook right around these pilings. I can't believe they haven't slurped this thing down. And again, there was also sheephead crawling all around there. Of course, I'm not matching the hatch, because there is little bait fish all around this dock. Here I am throwing shrimp. You know what? Let's do. I think this shrimp's a little too lively, and I think he's swimming. Yeah, look at him. Yeah, he's staying up and out of trouble. So let's just put a little split shot on. Send him into the danger zone. That's got to be what it is. That's got to be what it is, because there's fish out there. And he is really swimming well, especially considering he's got a hook in his head. He is athlete. Man, these cheap pliers. All right. Now let's see you swim with a weight around your neck. Now, how'd you do this? How am I doing this morning, guys? And let's put that hook right there. All right, here we go. We should have a bite in about 5 seconds. Missed that cast. I wanted to hit it in the corner, but let's see. Man, we got to get some fish quick here before I drown in this boot. I can't believe that patch. There we go. There's a fish. Oh. Come off. Oh, that's better. That's a little better than what we have been doing. We're going to get them figured out here real quick. A little smaller shrimp. Put it on that big clump of algae. You gotta be kidding me, that split shot fell off. I just clamped that thing down with my pliers. Sorry guys, bear with me. I know, should have just bit it down with my teeth, but I tried to quit doing that, chewing on lead. That's what we did as a kid though. Look. Alright, that ain't coming off. I mean, thing's stuck in the threads of my pliers. How did that thing come off? I don't know. There you go. Guys, if we don't get a fish on that, you can just change the channel. There we go. At least a hit. Can't promise a landing. He swiped me? There's a fish. Ain't much of one. Got a little snapper. Little snapper. Supposed to let that stay down there for me to get a snook, but hey, it's a start. It took me longer than I thought it would to get that first fish, but pretty little mangrove snapper are generally willing to play. Let's get a little, get another one of these little shrimp here. I know there is some good sheephead down there, and I know, like right there, I saw multiple snook. Now these minnows that I'm fishing around, they're really small right now. Oh, I think so are these snapper. And they say, you know, match the hatch, obviously. I'm not going to throw those little baits, but some kind of little white bait would probably be good. But a lot of times you throw something completely different. Snapper took a chunk out of my bait. And it's actually, it just sticks out like a sore thumb. They're all over there kind of dialed in on these little minnows, and then a nice juicy shrimp floats by, and they like that. There's another snapper. What's going on with this split shot, guys? It slid all the way down. I don't understand. Should have put it up above my leader line, and then it would stay. It would have to. It wouldn't be able to slide down past the knot. We'll play around here with these snapper for a minute, see if they'll let one of these shrimp get down to a snook, and then if not, we'll start marching down this shoreline. You know, I don't mind catching snapper. That's my favorite fish to eat out of here, but not if they're this little. Let's see if I can get over here in the shade. Not if they're this little and just bait stealing. There's a dead shrimp. Just hook him through the tail. Come on, fishy, fishy. Man, when they first hit, they hit hard. They're going through my bait. It's a problem with these little snapper. Same thing with the pinfish. And kind of the problem with shrimp fishing. It's all these little bait stealers. There's a fish. That's going to be a sheephead. Nope. Oh, something just blew up right there. Not a sheephead, a little better snapper. A little better snapper. If I'd known I was going to be doing this snapper fishing, I could have brought my ultralight. He probably just about go 10 inches, be a keeper. These snapper are a blast. Pop, pop. They are a blast to catch. If you got the right tackle, if you sit here, I don't have anything heavy anyway. I'm just throwing a little 2500 series pen with 10-pound braid and 20-pound tippet. So you saw he put up a decent little fight. But they are fun if you go out here with a little ultralight, small 1/0 hook if they're targeting them, and really just pieces of shrimp is all you need, so they're not stealing your bait so much. Something blew up there on the top water on those little minnows. As I was saying, they get to where they don't, especially with these shrimp, they don't let it stay down long enough for the better fish, like a redfish or maybe a little puppy black drum or a snook, a trout, you know, a game fish to come along. They're so darn greedy and aggressive. They're either ripping it off like they done the first 3-4 shrimp I had, or I'm catching them. At least I'm catching them now. And again, oh, they got away. I'm doing better here in the last couple by hooking them by the tail. They do seem to like to come up and hit the tail first. But I forget what I was saying. Yeah, if they were better, if they were 10 to 15 inches instead of 7 to 10 inches, it'd be a whole lot more fun. They seem to get better size down in the Keys. Inshore, offshore here, we can get them pretty good. Did you steal my bait? No, he's still there. Oh, and come back for it. Yeah, we'll play with these for a minute, and then we'll figure something else out. Maybe. Well, they're getting smaller now, guys. Maybe we'll get to something better down there. Oh, see you later. It's funny, when I walked along there, they're kind of small, but I walked on that dock. Again, I have permission. Don't walk on people's docks. You're not allowed to, but I didn't see any snapper. I saw multiple sheephead and a couple solid snook. Get my bait. I bet he did. Let's walk down here and let's try to fish the back end of this boat. I'll tell you what, underneath the boat, especially at the back, where there might be some. Man, I'm letting these shrimp go. Hey, come here. See if I can catch them. So let's see if I can catch them. Got them. They got running gear, especially if they got a boat that's not properly being cleaned by a diver. It's covered in barnacles and all that good stuff. Get some big fish under there. And that thing's getting thumped before he even has a chance. Yeah, I think that patch might have worked actually. I feel like I can feel the water dripping onto the back of my leg, which is not where that patch was at. So these are just garbage. This is what you get. Buy the cheap ones and start leaking like a sieve, and then you got to buy them again. I used to do a little bit of diving, bottom cleaning, and yeah, fish, sheephead, spadefish. Even I've seen little juvenile Goliath grouper. They like hanging around those props. How about a sheephead? There we go. That's a better fish. What do I got? Oh, it's a serious ladyfish. Ladyfish in here. With shrimp on the bottom. I was actually reeling it in, but there we go. That's a good cast. Yeah, I used to do bottom cleaning. It ain't bad out here towards Boca, where you can see what you're up against. But man, I did not like it getting into Punta Gorda. There's a fish. That's a little better fish, I think. Yep. Oh no. I mean, it is, but it ain't nothing that big. But man, see what I'm saying? Like if you, I kind of have him foul hooked is what happened. And he broke it. Not sure how that happened. He was kind of hooked in the throat. Just reached around and snatched the hook off. Cut the hook off. But my shrimp is still there too. Yeah, a little bit better fish though. Let's see how fast I can get back in the game here. I'll finish. Give me a chance to finish my story here while you look at these pretty mangroves. Those are red mangroves with the roots. They kind of walk along and grow out instead of under the water. And all the oysters and barnacles attach themselves to it. As you can see, once that water rises, great habitat. It's covered. They're covered in crabs and all kinds of bait fish. Everything can get in there, and obviously it's like a labyrinth once you get inside. And then even the bigger fish use it for protection from old flipper. There we go, we're back in business. But yeah, diving, doing the bottom cleaning in places like Punta Gorda, Peace River, up in the Mayaca River. No, not even in the river, just not even in the river at all, just up in the harbor. And that brackish water, tannin stained water, it's kind of sketchy. You got, yeah, sharks in the back of your mind, especially like maybe a bull shark or something, but not really. Me, I'm more afraid of gators. I'm not afraid of gators, except when I'm in the water, in their territory. Walking along the bank, strike zone where they like to hit, that's obviously dangerous. Swimming in fresh water is pretty much dumb in Florida. Depending on, there you go, another ladyfish. I think. Yep. Boy, I ought to cut you up for cut bait. That's a perfect size. I like them smaller ones for cut bait. Little lady. But yeah, when you get out in the water and you're swimming in dark, murky water, you can't see 3 feet in front of you. I'll tell you one thing that's really changed. As soon as I started hooking these guys in the tail, so they can still swim and move, but not as well. Connection rate has gone way up. Those ladyfish are just kind of crashing around on these little minnows. It's just kind of spooky, and I just don't like the thought of gators. Some people ask me, like, even what I'm doing now, is it, if you get afraid of sharks and stuff, is it generally, nah, not when as long as I don't think about it. But out here wading, I really don't. You get out there deeper, you know, you get really deep. Maybe chest deep, which is kind of too deep to be wading anyway. It does kind of sometimes cross your mind, but right up against a shoreline like this, I don't mind. But diving, in fact, the last time I did it was in Port Charlotte, in canals that I know have, rarely, but do have gators, you know, around Grassy Point, Port Charlotte. And it was summertime, it was raining, so it was kind of dark, and it was just kind of spooky under this sailboat. And I started, I think I was just feeling the hose, the air hose up banging against my leg. Something felt like it bumped me. And I was like, man, God, get me out of here, and I'll never dive again. Plus, there's a lot of other things. It's a nasty kind of job. You get covered in barnacle bugs and, whoa, bad cast. You get ear infections and all the nasty stuff that's in this water. It ain't like snorkeling. Look at that, right in front of us. It ain't like snorkeling out there. Little tern just dive bombed us. He didn't even know we were here. There we go. Which is the beauty of this fishing. Is that the nature just doesn't even know you're here. Look at this school ladyfish right out in front of us here. That's what's nice about this big channel that's in front of us, is it brings in the open water fish as well. And I've lost my split shot again. Doggone it. I gotta get my money back on them split shots. They don't work. I don't think them split shots work. Got ripped off. Crimp them down. A little better ladyfish. Poor man's tarpon. That big old eye. A lot of fun. Lot of fun catching ladyfish. You know, I don't mind catching trash fish, as they call them. Little bitty snapper, ladyfish. They keep it busy. I just like catching fish. Now we're obviously looking for something different. And as long as we're catching fish, though, we're doing something right, and eventually you might sneak in something nice. Sitting here throwing this shrimp, and tell you what, you can catch absolutely anything and everything, as we kind of already are. But yeah, the next cast could be a big redfish. I told this story before, I'll keep it brief, but we were fishing with little bitty shrimp like this, me and my grandpa, one of our last times out, at the red marker, Charlotte Harbor, middle of the harbor, just getting bait, just filling up with gas over at Fisherman's Village, and on the way back through, I had a couple dozen little shrimp is all you could get. There was this big cloud of snapper. I could see him hanging around the piling there, the marker. So he threw in, and I hooked one of them snapper. And I just hand the rod to my grandpa. I mean, it's a dinky little, it's 6 inches is all it is. He's reeling it in, and all of a sudden that pole just doubles over, and a 40-inch cobia just slurped down that snapper as he was reeling it in. And then, there's a better fish. That's a better fish. No, that's a doggone another ladyfish. That's a big ladyfish, man. That's a big ladyfish. Now, you see what I mean? If I were using that light tackle, we could just, if I was using my ultralight, we could just call this tarpon fishing. Woo! That's a big ladyfish. Great bait, those ladyfish. I love, in the summertime, cutting them up. Chunk bait for a red and big snook. How about these ladyfish? Leave it alone, and let's see if there's a trout out there. A big trout would be nice. Nope, we're on them. There's a school of them out there just swarming. But when my grandpa was reeling in that cobia, you know, it was just 10-pound braid. It was, you know, it was a fight. And the fight kind of stabilized, and he was just, you know, he's working him in. He's got a 1/0 circle hook. And all of a sudden, kind of like what happened with the snapper, he just doubled down. The rod just kind of doubled over again, like something happened. And he sounded real deep. You know, we just figure it's just a fish just fighting for his life. And turns out when we finally landed that thing, I'm like 90% sure there's something blowing up way out there in the channel. It's probably these ladyfish, but he ended up with a huge, like 6-inch gash on his under of his stomach, you know, belly fat area where you normally, when you're filleting them out, big gash. And so pretty sure the food chain was in full force. I'm getting bumped right here. And he got hit by a shark, a bull shark. What do we got here? Damn, kind of like running with me. Not jumping. I thought I had something different there for a second. Okay. Well, not the silvery fish I was looking for, but the silvery fish I'm getting. We'll keep this up for a little bit. See if I keep losing these split shots. I'll throw this one more, and then I'll go back to another split shot to see if I can get back down into those snapper. Those sheephead reportedly are. So yeah, I think what happened was throw out a shrimp, and I mean it was peewee shrimp season, and I catch a snapper, and it was peewee snapper time, and the snapper got eat 8 by a 40-inch, beautiful, thick cobia. And as that cobia was coming in, a bull shark bit him. If you got a better explanation for a large gash, let me know. The only thing I was thinking was like, and this is the middle of the harbor. He never got close to the pilings, to the marker, you know, or like some kind of like rocks or something where he kind of gashed his stomach open. Something came after him and got him. Now, there wasn't a bite mark, so I don't know. If you got a better explanation, I'd love to hear it. But needless to say, he was coming home with us. Catching these ladyfish one after the other. This is when I guess you fussy fishermen could turn it off and say, oh man, he's just catching ladyfish. But this is where I just relax and have fun. Be glad I'm catching fish for now. You know, the strike score, which I just checked real quick on Salt Strong just to see, was a 5. Maybe it's working. Maybe it is a 5, except for ladyfish today. But I went out, took my boat out for the second time, and that strike score was an 8.5. I did exactly what another guy on there, Salt Strong, did. This guy is a red fishing fool. This guy catches big redfish and a lot of them. Did exactly what he did. Went out and back of Turtle and Bull. Bull Bay, between Bull and Whidden. It was low tide. I would not have been out there otherwise. Low water, incoming tide. Let's just say I broke in my little skiff properly, my outboard, and just drifting the flats. Beautiful day, incoming tide. I could see clear, and I clearly did not see a fish. I saw 2 little redfish. And this guy I know, he caught a plenty the day before doing the same thing, just throwing shrimp artificials. I mean, I tried for 4 hours. I didn't even get a hit. I caught like 1 trout hit, didn't even land him. So, and that's fishing. And then he'd come out here and it's a 5 strike score. And you just grab a couple little dozen shrimp, and at least I'm catching some fish. I mean, so I usually don't go by strike scores and all that. Just go whenever I can. But yeah, isn't that something? That's amazing. You take a little shrimp, turn it into a snapper, turns into a cobia, potentially now you're shark fishing. Anyway, finish the story. I land that. I net him. I had a net. Put the cobia on the deck, and as soon as he hits and starts flopping, the hook breaks at the shaft. I got the shaft still tied up, and the circle hook was gone in his mouth somewhere. Didn't have much fight left on that hook. 1/0 circle hook, and a 40-inch cobia. Now that is a fishing story. Took it home and filleted it. Got a lot of good fish sandwiches out of that fish. All right. Let's just pitch it up under the mangroves right over here. How'd I do? Okay, let's just let that sit for a second. Yeah. Oh, we got something right there. It's probably ladyfish, but something right there. Hitting on the minnows. Come on. Perfect. Boy, the tide is dropping, and half of it is in my right boot. Man, I can't believe he didn't get hit. Yeah, I hadn't been fishing much kept having problems with my Carolina skiff, and I've got a Ginu that I never had running from the time I owned it. It's Tohatsu, just I couldn't get it right. So I finally scolded the Carolina skiff, put a brand new motor on the Tohatsu, or I put a brand new Suzuki on the Ginu. And so now I'm going to be fishing, but there was a little while there where I was just too busy working and trying to build my other channel, Harbor Yachts, which is a boat channel, boat walkthroughs. Do boats kind of like that, trawlers and such. And I went just before Christmas to Blue Ridge, Georgia. Man, there's a bird. He is just sitting there like a drone, hovering right there. There he goes. He's diving now. There he goes. Boom! And it was one of them turns that just hit us in front of us here. He was just hovering. It looked like a drone. It was like mechanical almost, the way he just sat there and sat there and sat there. He's doing it again, and then he gets his eye on one and just said incoming. And so anyway, there's a pretty little snapper, a little more red to him, beautiful. That little blue eye line on their eyes. If you can see that there. So we went up to the mountains. I wasn't even planning on fishing at all when we were in the mountains. And we had had a day where it was like, yeah, let's do something different. So the next day I called to see if I could book a charter for the next day. And was going to do fly fishing, but I was bringing my kids, and I just wanted to make sure everybody caught some fish. So I didn't fly fish. We just went with ultralight tackle in this little creek called the Big Creek, but it was a small creek in the Blue Ridge Mountains, right off the Toccoa River. Had the best guide. This guy, he's the best in City of Blue Ridge. I don't need to see any others. I know it. British guy, Andrew from Toccoa Outfitters, if you want to go fishing. Anyway, it was just amazing. And I think it was partly probably just doing something different. I mean, my first cast is a little ultralight. He's getting hit right now. With a little ultralight rod and reel in this creek. I caught a beautiful trophy rainbow trout, which I didn't know, but all the rainbows are stocked. That's not even a native fish. The native fish to the Blue Ridge and the Appalachia area is called the Appalachian brook trout, and he ain't but 6 inches, 8 inches, 10, I guess, like that. So all them rainbows and browns are all stocked, whether you're fishing on a stocked pond or not. Hey, I just let that guy go. Doggone it, he's gone. He's gone. He better get in the mud quick. So they're all stocked, but there are native. They are. Oh gosh, that was a good fish right there. No doubt a ladyfish. Probably gonna hit my hook on the way back in. They reproduce once they're out there. You can get second generation, but they're all stocked. Anyway, it was just so much fun walking the creek and fishing for these trout, and it just got me re-inspired. Like, man, I gotta do more fishing when I get back home. You get to doing the same kind of fishing, which is like what I'm doing right now, and fishing for shrimp, catching whatever, and which my channel is primarily artificials, but anyway, you just get to doing the same fishing, and sometimes you kind of lose the appreciation. You get spoiled. You lose the appreciation of how good we got it here in South Florida. But so doing something different, it was really cool. Anyway, a little variety, spice of life. It was fun. It got me re-energized to come back here and do some fishing videos. Get back into fishing a little heavier. Let's go back over here. This mangrove bush. Let's sit for a minute. This is what is fun about shrimp fishing. Is it can be pretty fast and furious. People can call them you know, trash fish or less desirable fish, but they're really fun. And especially if you got kids or people who don't fish as well like me. It's just a good time. A good time catching fish. I got my thing tangled up here. I got my tackle bag swimming in the water. Oh man, now I got a mess. What am I gonna do here? Hold on, guys. I gotta get these batteries out of there so they don't get ruined. If they haven't already, put them in my pocket. My dry pocket. There we go. The rest of that stuff can get wet. But let's get it up out of there just in case. There we go. High and dry. Alright, last cast, and then I am going to put on another split shot here. See if I can get back down to the bottom. Yeah, I can see, I see fish blowing up all down there, but I think it's these ladyfish are just working this whole channel. And I do have a popping cork, which would get me further out there. But I would be casting directly into the wind, so again, there's no way I'm going to be able to get across to the flat. Whereas it's going to have some reds and stuff coming off of it. Reds and trout. Oh. Another one. You know, hate to go leaving fish to find fish, but leaving ladyfish to find fish. I'll tell you what, these ladyfish stay buttoned a lot better with a circle hook than they do with a jig head. Man, when I hook these things on a jig head trying to keep them for bait, they use that counterweight of the jig head, and they use, it's got me all frayed up, they use the fact that it's a circle hook and not a J hook and not a circle hook to really rattle it out. They are the foremost expert on getting free from a hook. Alright, let's put another split shot on. This time we're going to put it up on the leader, above the leader, I should say. And maybe it'll stay on. Do a little test here. Oh, look at that shrimp. How did that happen? He's right there on the bait bucket lid. We got a pontoon boat plowing along here. Tri-tune, actually. Plowing along this no wake zone. Wondering what in the world is that guy doing standing in the water. Alright, gotta wait, we're going back down. We're going for biggins. We are going for a big sheephead, doggone it. I'd like to get a big sheephead. What do I got? Do I got a little sheephead? No. A little Another little mangrove. No weight, you're gonna get the ladyfish up top. If you drop them down, Gonna get a snapper. But what one of the things that got me, excited about doing a little bit of different fishing was when we were up there is we were just catching rainbow trout. These are smaller fish, ultralight tackle, and it's a totally different fishing. Snook right out here in front of me. Totally different fishing than what we're doing down here usually, and just the ultralight really is what, more than anything, obviously the beauty of fishing in a nice stream and catching these really pretty rainbow trout. But it's the and this guy specifically does a lot of fly fishing, and it's just a totally different thing. And I'm not going to get into fly fishing, but the concept of which I've done and always done it, but is with panfish and such, is just the ultralight tackle. It's just kind of, I don't know, simplifying fishing. I've never been like big game fishing, like wanting to get out and catch shark or huge tarpon. My fishing was basically taught to be, if you ain't bringing something home to eat, we ain't doing it. Which obviously I don't do that now. I mean, I do sometimes, but my main goal is to catch fish and have fun. Got me around that little conduit there from the dock and got him out. But to just come out and just to do simple fishing, dial back your tackle a little bit, and catch fish. Look at that. Now, I didn't bring ultralight today, which I should have, though, because this would just be such a blast with a little 4-pound test, 1000 series rod. Hey, I'm running out of shrimp here. I can't be letting you go. Oh, smart one. He went down instead of swimming up. We are going through our shrimp here today. It's so funny. The only 2 fish I saw, sheephead and snook, and I ain't caught one. So look to see more of that. I am tomorrow going to take my ginu out. Actually, I'm going to go fishing in some freshwater creek in Punta Gorda. Do a little bass fishing. That's why I'm super excited about having this ginu. I might get a kayak as well. And instead of just always fishing Gasparilla Sound, Bull Bay, Turtle Bay, etc., I'm going to be bouncing all around and fishing lots of different bodies of water and different styles of fish. Let's get a bait check here, see how many baits we got left. I have a feeling if I go marching down that wall of mangroves, I'm not going to catch anything. The water's getting kind of low. I won't be able to pitch up under the mangroves. Yeah, they hooked me up. I got a lot of shrimp. In there. Let's just stay here for a few more minutes. But, if you're not going for monsters, and if, Goliath grouper, shark, tarpon, and if you're not specifically going to eat your fish, targeting, stuff you can take home, put in the cooler, then what's it really all about? Is it about the species? To me, it's just about getting that bite, getting that first bite, whatever it is. Mayan cichlids, bluegill, crappie, bass, redfish. And if you're really good, I know what you're saying. You're probably A, not watching my channel, or B, you are like, oh man, well, I can catch bull reds and monster snook every time I go out. And you might be able to. And if you're out cast netting every morning and you're getting bait and you are working hard, then you can. But for most people, they don't have really time to be dialed in and put 5 days in a week on the water, and you gotta just kind of figure them out quick. Get you some live shrimp. Get you some minnows, some shiners out in freshwater. And get you some worms, some red wigglers, and an ultralight tackle. Yeah, we gotta go back to the end of the boat there for a minute too. These are snapper getting to be ridiculous. Just feeding them. I'm gonna take a couple more shrimp here, and then we're gonna move along. Man. Good thing he hooked me up, because I'm letting these shrimp go left and right. Oh, look at that one. Look at that shrimp. You alive? I'm going to let you go. Intentionally. Pitch you up there. Hopefully you can find a place to hide there, buddy. So what, let's see if we can sneak around this bush here. Just work this channel, or this mangrove shoreline here. Did I? Oops. Oh, doggone it. Let's go get this. I'll put it in the tree, guys. There we go. A little snook swimming out from under my feet. Could make my way down to that next dock. Boy, I really wrapped this thing up. Okay, here we go. They've got their own little boat ramp there. Just gonna pitch to the other side of it. I'm gonna put you in a rod holder here. You all let me know if I get something. I'm gonna try to adjust this so I can get the camera angled up. A pinch. There we go. Tell you what, let's throw that popping cork on right here. We got some grass out in front of us. This is a weighted, just a simple, old school weighted popping cork. These things can make a lot of commotion if you want, and can cast pretty far. Now, I'm going to keep it kind of right out close here where it's more shallow. So I'm not gonna let it go too, just keeping it about 2 feet above the surface, below the surface, I should say. Man, that thing will cast. Man, if I just had a little breeze, next time I'll try to find a west wind. But man, it is a ways to the other side of this channel here. We've been doing what? How long we've been fishing here? Well, about an hour. Caught a mess of fish. Just not the fish and it's the species I was after. This wind's just gonna blow me right back in, so I'm gonna pitch it out a little further this time. Let it kind of work its way in. Get out of there. You gotta be kidding me. Almost got me. Little turn trying to get my shrimp. He's gonna come back for it, ain't he? No. We'll just make one drift here with this. If we don't get picked up. Tell you what, let's just do that. Let's just walk down to this other dock. Wintertime, low tide, dock fishing is probably going to be your best bet. Now, if I was out here, and I will come out here with artificials, I'd be kind of just fan casting all along the shoreline. Need to come out here next time maybe with some, bring a half a dozen pinfish as well. See if there's any fish under here as we mosey along. Oh, there goes something. Spook something. There we go. I'm getting bit. Actually, it might be pufferfish actually biting the bobber. Yeah, I'm gonna need a new pair of waders. The waders we used in Georgia. Oh, what is that? Man, it is, whatever it is eating the float. Maybe, maybe not. He got the shrimp, looks like, too. The waders, they were good waders, and they just have a sock attached to them, and then you put on these wading boots, wading shoes, I should say. Let's hit him by the head here and give him a little chance to swim. And there's got to be red in here. No, dadgummit. Give me that. Get out of here. And damn bird. Now he's got me all knotted up. You see that? That turn. Man, what a mess. Hold on, guys. Remind me about that story here in a second. Here, let me put this in my tree holder. My rod holder. Man, that turn just dove down, grabbed my shrimp. I'm just happy he didn't get hooked. I hate reeling in birds. Man, but this thread, this 10-pound braid, you know, it's just like thread. It so easily gets messed up. But this is fishing, guys. This ain't a highlight reel. Decided I'd just bring you along for the trip. Got it. All right. So my question to you is, waders with the sock that slides into a wading shoe? I don't think it's my boot that's leaking. So this is the boot kind. You know, the boot comes with it. He kill my shrimp? Yeah, he did pretty much. Or should I get the wading sock, the wading, you know, the pants with the sock, and then you put on shoes separately? I guess that's probably the best way, rather than the boot that's just all in one. I'll have to do a little research to see. I guess especially for here, up north there, that's all smooth, super smooth rocks and stones. Down here, we're getting into oysters. And so I guess there's probably a good chance of cutting open these, especially these cheaper boots, rather than just having a shoe that's protecting the boot, protecting the sock. Looks like a boat detailer coming down to the boat. Boat detail crew, they're there for the Cabo or the bay boat. Getting a late start, 10 a.m. There's boat detailers for you. There's two kind of boat detailers. The pros, and then the ones that are into it for 6-8 months. Wax your car, wax the boat. Next thing you know, they're off doing something else. Right now they're looking at the fish. Well, guys, let's go back to our dock. There's too many people here. Too many daggone birds. I like to fish. I don't like to fish around a bunch of people. Let's just put this thing way out there. See if we can luck into something as we march our way back. Oh, yeah, bird. Dadgummit, get out of here. I was going to show you guys a crab trap up under the mangroves there. That was washed there years ago, it looked like, but I felt a little bump and looked over, and it's our feathery friend. Won't leave us alone. All right, let's just march. March back to our boat. And I think what we're going to do is I'm going to go back with the regular. I'm going to take this bobber off, this float, and go back to the split shot. And just see if I can weed through the snapper and something different. Well, them ladyfish are still hanging around. Nope, come off. I think it's some ladyfish. Hey, after it's been a few minutes of not catching nothing, all of a sudden you're happy to catch a ladyfish. Let's see. This shouldn't take long. Balloon. So I'm popping it. That creates noise. It's the fish looking around. They're still over there. Boy, it's amazing how well they stay buttoned up with a circle hook. And they don't choke it either. Jig heads once in a while, when you do land them, they have that thing so far down their throat. And they will cover your boat in blood and other stuff. I hope I don't get into something too big. They have frayed my line, and I don't feel like retying it right now. Gosh. Well, the bait is right here, all around me, man, up in the bushes. Look at this bait. I don't know if you can see that. Little 1.5 inches. Oh, I'm gonna kill him. I'm not gonna kill him actually, but I do see why the captains get frustrated with him, and some of them do kill them. But you gotta just figure something else out. I don't know what to tell you. You just can't be going and killing birds because they're stealing your client's baits. I've seen it in Louisiana, and I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand in Louisiana, and I have heard of captains, the best of the captains, a captain I've fished with, probably the best captain in the harbor. I've heard he was doing it too. I'll leave him anonymous. Captain Turn Killer. All right, let's do what we said. Let's take off this float. And birds are everywhere now. The bait is thicker than ever. Can I get a sheephead? Let's go on the other side of the dock. Cast ye line on the other side of the dock. And we shall get a sheephead. At this point, you know, I was looking for some snook. I'll be happy with a sheephead. I mean, golly, guys, I'm throwing live shrimp, free lining them. There's multiple snook over there. There was. Wouldn't be surprised if they're not now, but I really thought it would be hard not to catch a snook. I didn't really want to be at this angle here, it's pilings, but Here we go. That's right up on him. Right up on him. Come on. Here we go. Oh. You swipe my bait. Oh, dang it. That was a good hit there. I think I still got my bait. No? Pretty sure I still got my bait after that hit. It's kind of surprising. Yeah. Picked my head off, but that's it. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. There we go. That's either the best snapper of the day or it's a little bitty sheephead. Yep, there we go. There we go. There's a convict. Man, they fight so much better. Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. That's what I was hoping for. Hey, hey, hey. Easy, buddy. Now, these things will put a hole in your waders. More importantly, your hand. Doggone it, dude. I didn't bring my net because I thought I didn't want to. Man, he really is intentionally. Do you see what he's doing? He is intentionally, left, right, trying to hurt me. How about I don't let you have any water for that tail and you won't be able to flop? How about I outsmart you? Finally. That's a pretty sheephead. To be honest, it's a keeper, but you shouldn't really keep them at this size. They got a big rib cage. You're gonna get a little bit of meat out of him, but trust me, it's gonna be a hard fillet. And just let him go. Let him get a little bigger. Let him get a little bigger. But look at those. Look at those daggers. Those are daggers. Now, his pec fins aren't, but these lower ones are. That's what he was trying to get me with. He was trying to hurt me. Let me out. Let me out. There we go. Pretty. Pretty little fish. All right. See you, buddy. And one last time he got me with that tail. Soaked me. Soaked you. Sorry about that. All right. I knew it. I knew it. I was on the wrong side of the dock. I was on the wrong side. Let's see if we can get another one. Biggest sheephead I ever got. We let another one go, guys. He's heading down. Biggest sheephead I ever caught that I didn't force feed with the spear gun was 5 pounds. Under the port, under the, in the Peace River under the, I can do this, Punta Gorda Bridge. And 5 pounds, man. I was a teenager catching that thing. Let me get you guys cleaned up here. Dried off. It's too cold to be getting wet. Let me tell you what, a 5 pound sheephead is a fish. Put up a fight. It was a lot of fun. That little guy there, he's probably a pound. But sheephead, kind of like jack, underappreciated, man. They are a fighting fish. Tough. Unlike Jack, extremely good to eat though. Just make sure you get them big enough. Let's just say. You get snapper. You know, I think they're what, 10 now? 10 inches, a 10-inch snapper. It's too little. Get to a 12-inch and plus. A sheephead I think is 15. You know, get to a 16, 17. It really is. Each inch really makes a lot of difference in how much food is on them. And especially with sheephead. Big rib cage, hard to fillet. You think there's a lot of fish there. There's not. There's a lot of carcass there. You think there's a lot of meat there, but there's really a lot of carcass. A lot of scales and bone. Tough to fillet. Snapper, at least it's easy to fillet. But you will know when you got a keeper fish and it's like, you know what? That fish looks like a meal. You gotta pinch the tail and stretch him out. Talk yourself into him being a keeper. You probably should let it go. All right, well that bite took a little bit longer than the snapper bites. They're usually right on it, but it was worth it. Let's see if we can get another one. Now, targeting sheephead. Oh, come on. I think, let me know if you agree or disagree. I think a J hook probably is a better setup than a circle. There's about a half a dozen white pelicans. Here we go. Sheephead are tough, man. They're tough to get the hook set on them. They got a very hard mouth. They come up and just kind of grab and go. They pick at it. They're not like a snook or a trout. It just comes up and chokes it. You see, they do something more like this. That's why they call them the convict fish. They steal it and then take off. They're over there chewing on those barnacles. Tell you what, let's do. Let's kind of crook this guy up here. Kind of hide the hook a little bit and see. Sometimes you can take these guys and kind of twist them, break them in half a little bit, have the legs out, almost make it look like a little crab at first glance. Sheephead love crabs. If you can get out here, get in these bushes, which you can if you want to, and catch the mangrove crabs, the black mangrove crabs, or if you buy fiddlers, but mangroves are way better. They are primo bait because you don't have to weed through the snapper. Snapper will eat them, but not as much. Same thing with the pinfish. So you'll really have a chance to sit there and get a good sheephead bite and not run into the problem that I've been having with all these bait stealers, like little snapper and even ladyfish. Bait moved in here. I wonder what they're doing when they're kind of like doing that. They're hitting the top of the water. Little bait fish. They're all doing it at once. Are they feeding on something? There we go. That's another sheephead, I think. No, it's a better snapper. It's a better snapper is what it is. It's the best snapper of the day. That's a keeper snapper. That is a keeper snapper right there. That's a nice little fish. Heck yeah. Here we go, 12. See ya. Well, this is the beauty of wade fishing, is you can really pinpoint the approach to the fishing hole, wherever it is. It's the biggest thing about, one of the bigger problems having a boat, if you got a bigger boat I should say, is not being able to perfectly place the boat. When I had my Carolina skiff, give me so many days where I'm trying to just work a shoreline and stay right on a spot, and the wind is blowing you and it's moving you sideways, the back end swinging in, and then if you get a fish and you're like, I want to stay right here, even if you put the spot lock on with the trolling motor, you're still going to spin around, the motor's making a lot of noise, and when you wade fish, you get to get right on the fish, exactly where you want to be. So, for instance, it's a little better one too. Not this big, but a little better. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm just going to try the other side of the dock here. Man, if you tried fishing all around this, moving around as much as I have in here with a boat. Yeah, there's something blowing up behind me. Snappers, they don't want to even open their mouth to let the hook back. So do the same thing if they get your finger in there. I found out the hard way. Come on, buddy, open your mouth. There you go. Yeah, so when you're fishing like this, you're able to just get exactly where you want to go. I thought I let go another one. So what happens is I open this bucket and I'm trying to grab them and they jump right out as I'm reaching in for one. Another one says there's our chance, flicks out sideways or backwards. That's their escape move, is to go backwards, kick super hard. So just a little difference, we haven't done it enough yet, but it looks like it, of getting on the other side of the dock, getting these fish's face into the current slightly, or whatever the difference has been. But we've got a sheephead, and we've got two better snapper. In short order. Still looking for a snook. Hey, I was just about to reel it up. There's another sheephead. That's funny, because you know what they say is, Fish and Frank says it, to be exact. He says, when you're sheephead fishing, you got to set the hook like just before he hits. It's kind of a joke. Like, they hit and go so fast that if you don't set the hook before he even hits, you're not going to catch him. I literally set the hook before he hit it. I was lifting the rod, same size as that other one. Taking a crab. It's like crab legs coming out of there. You had crab dinner last night. I literally was lifting the rod out of the water, lifting the bait out of the water, and he comes swimming up and got it. Pretty. That face. See if I can turn him around to show you guys. See that all gnarly, those scars? That's from chewing on oysters all day. Dadgummit, I think I learned my lesson. Get you guys all wet again. All right. Well, I'm having fun. I'm having fun. Sure beats working. You know, now that I've proved to you that I wasn't lying, that there were sheephead there, maybe I can prove to you that I saw some snook. And a couple of them were good size too. They weren't just a little 16-inch snook. Man, there's so much going on out there on those flats. I've been seeing bait getting busted by probably those ladyfish, maybe jack, maybe trout. I've been seeing pelicans dive, mullets jumping. Definitely could get plenty to eat out here if you had to. If we were out here fishing and we had to and there was no rules, we'd have a fish dinner by now, I'll tell you what. Because yes, you can even eat those ladyfish. I don't, but you can. Most people don't, but you can. I tried them once. Part of the problem is it just they got like 1,000,000 bones in them, like the entire flesh is just filled with bones, and they're really tiny bones, and they come off like when you fillet it, they just come right off with it. So what you got to do is you take the fillet off, lay it down, leave the skin on it, and then you take a spoon. The meat is so soft, you just take a spoon and you literally scrape gently with the spoon all the meat off, and that somehow leaves the bones kind of intact. Old Evan Rude on the Parker. It leaves the bones there, and so what you get is like a couple big spoonfuls of meat, and then people take that and make it into fish meatballs. And I guess it's probably not too bad. Between that and all those little snapper tacos, if we absolutely were starving, and those sheephead, we would have plenty of food if we had to. Getting up and running down there into that canal. I didn't even know I had one. Oh man, dadgummit, didn't even know I had one. It's kind of the same thing as the other time I lifted it up to move it and line come tight. All right, guys. Well, we got about a dozen left. Let's see. What we can do. Really like to end this little session with a big keeper sheeper. Did I say a dozen? Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, they hooked me up. They weren't even counting. I got more than a dozen left, probably. There is one spot way down there that I do think, I don't know, I could just barely reach it across, right where the canal, the flat ends, and there's another island right there, and then there's a canal. I could possibly reach the other side of that, fish the mouth, but oh man, look at that. Look at that. All right, buddy. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a fighting chance. I'm going to put this behind your head, let you swim. It's a good shrimp. Go get me something. Oh, doggone it. Beating him up off that piling. Good cast. Good bait. See if we can get a good fish. Here we go. Yeah, he stuck out like a sore thumb. Picked up. Huh. Oh, there's a sheephead right in front of me. Did they rob me? Doggone it. That was the best shrimp of the day. This is a pretty good one too, actually. What do we got here? What do we got here? That's a little snapper. Little snapper. Open up. Oh, there he goes, doing it again. Open up. There you go. They don't like dental work or surgery, which is kind of what you are as a fisherman at times. Just gotta do a little bit of surgery on these fish. Teeth extraction, hook extraction. Let's see how long we got here. I'm going about an hour and a half. I was hoping to do 2 hours. Battery's getting a little low. Might need to do a battery exchange here in a minute. Bumping me, thumping me all the way out here. There he is, right here at my feet. These little snapper have found me out now. Little snapper have found me out. He poked me. All right, guys, let's make a move. There's that big old jet coming in. Man, I didn't know they landed planes that big over here. Let's go walking down here to the end. I'm going to turn you guys off. It'll just take me about 10 minutes to walk the end of this canal, end of this shoreline, and let's see if we can get something down there a little bit different. If not, we'll come back here and wrap this video up here. We're on my way to the spot. Look at this. Massive. I believe that's a horseshoe conch. Closing up quick. That'll be good eating there. What? No end to the bounty of the harbor. That would probably have been a Caloosahatchee Indian delicacy right there. What a great find that would be. Yeah, I'm about, a little more than halfway there. Nice little walk, actually. It's all kind of a mud flat, should be grass flats. You can see the grass right here. It's turtle grass trying to poke its head out, but big problem with the habitat. The grass doesn't grow as well. There is healthy grass, some of the most healthy grass on the other side of that island out there, but anyway, just gonna get as shallow as I want and kind of march through here fast. A couple of ospreys. Yeah, it's definitely getting more defined. The channel is getting more narrow. Yeah, I might be able to reach it actually on a not windy day where the wind's in my face, even if it's just not blowing at my back. We'll see. I'm almost there, but I could wade out here. Now it is low tide. I could wade out pretty far. I might be able to get across. Okay, guys, we made it to the mouth of this canal, and oysters all over the ground here where I'm walking. I know if I just keep marching, I haven't seen anything coming up yet, but if I keep marching through this, I'm gonna end up seeing a redfish and spook them and be upset. So I'm gonna cast out in front of me a little bit, walk slowly. I'm hoping I can reach the other side with a popping cork. Hitting here. I think I just made a waste of that big old shrimp on some pinfish snapper. Dadgummit, I did. Unfortunately, it drops off pretty deep, pretty quick. I don't know if I won't be able to walk much closer to the other side of this canal, but might be able to reach it. I'm kind of out of blocking. I'm out of the wind now. The corner there where these dead mangroves are hanging is a really nice spot. I've seen some big sheephead, snapper, spadefish. They all just ball up around that corner. I've seen some good sized shark there too. But that's where the flat comes off. And it just, boom, drops down deep. This is a deep water canal. It was a hot day. I was out finishing at the end of the day. Caught a few snapper right there at that spot. And I was like, man, I could dive in here. I had the spear gun. I could dive in and pop some spadefish or some sheephead. And right as I'm thinking about it, I'm standing there on the back of the boat. And here comes a big enough bull shark, about a 5-foot bull shark, just basically looking to do the exact same thing I was thinking about doing, right in that same spot. And I was like, you know what, maybe I'll stay in the boat. All right, let's put the popping cork on. We're not going to try this for long. It's either going to work or it ain't. Where'd y'all do it with my popping cork? It didn't float away, did it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I'm gonna be able to reach it. Probably should just skip the popping cork and put a jig head on. That didn't reach it, but I can. Wasn't a good cast. Yeah, probably should put a jig head on. Dang, it's low tide, and I'm about as far out as I'm going to be able to get. And I ain't close enough. Google Maps didn't look this far. It looked like I could get there from Google Maps pretty easy. You don't know unless you go. Oh man, it's close. It's close, but not close enough. Tide is shifted now. It's just barely starting to come in. If I had a little bit of a tailwind behind me, it'd be perfect, because I could cast farther and then it would just, I wouldn't even have to get it there. It would blow up underneath. That's what we got to do. We had to come out here with a little bit of a westerly wind. I think something might be bumping me though. You never know. I might get it. I might pick something up here. Might pick up a trout. This deeper water off that flat. Give this a good, one little good drift. Oh! The deeper you get, the spookier you are. The mullet just spooked me. About waist deep, kind of a little bit of some murky water with some deep water right out in front of me. Telling that shark story, it kind of spooked me. All right, let's get it over there. Yeah, that's a good cast. But need the shrimp to stay on. Cast that a little too hard. One more cast. One more cast in this spot. Everything seems to be okay. Just can't snap it so fast. There's a good shrimp. Got a good shrimp. I'm gonna get a good cast. Got him hooked behind the head and that horn, the hard part. Ah, not a good cast. Okay, what we're gonna do is let that sit for a minute, and we're gonna work back up. There is a little bit of a flat on the left, not much. What happened was this was all one flat, and they dredged it. So there's still a little remnants of the flat here on the left, about as far out as I am right now from the shoreline. So since we can't reach the other flat, we're going to fish this one as I work my way back to the boat. Doggone, I think I done sprung a leak in my left shoe too. No more buying these cheap waders. I really need to look into that. I think I need to get wading shoes and a good pair of waders that just have the socks. I think that's going to be the ticket. All right, so here we go. Here's the plan. We're looking for a trout bite. Keep it out in front of us. There was a couple little nice little spots actually on the way here. Looked nice. Had some grass. Had a little bit of a pothole here and there. Deeper impression. We're just gonna walk at a pretty good little clip and keep this out in front. Should take about 10 minutes to get back. And then next time I'm coming out here with live bait, I'm looking for a little westerly wind. But the next time specifically that I come here, for sure, whatever way the wind is blowing, I'm gonna throw artificials. We're gonna do a little bit more moving and exploring, just kind of walking up and down this shoreline. Working that deeper channel and bringing it right back up into this flat. Couple fish here next to me, but they are a mullet. Another big conch. Wouldn't mind one little old trout, just to mix things up. One trout on the way back to the dock, and then one snook, just so I can prove that I wasn't lying once we get back to the dock. That's all I'm asking for. I'll turn you guys back on if I see this float going under. There we go. What do we got here? Are you kidding me? Oh, I thought it was another snapper. Hey, just what I asked for. I asked for a little trout, so I wouldn't have to pout. Look a little bit like them rainbows I was catching up in Georgia. Pretty fish. Just working my way back to the dock, and I decided to ditch the float and just kind of free line these. When I was on the grass flat, they were getting hammered by little pinfish. So kind of just started pitching it out here right on the ledge where the water gets deep without the float, and I was just like my third cast doing that, and I got into one. Let's see, them little trout like to school up together, so I wouldn't mind ending the morning right here on a little bit of a trout bite. Yep, there's a school of them. He had one right behind him. Nice. Hey. Brought you in a little green, didn't I? Yeah. Nice. Variety. That's what I love about the harbor and fishing with shrimp. A good variety. I'm gonna need the pliers on this one. Unless I want to stick my finger in that toothy critter's mouth, which I don't. I've been bit by a trout before too. Not as bad as a snapper. Not even close. There we go. Come here. Yeah, there's a little school of them right there. And I've got about a half a dozen shrimp left, and I'd have a blast just if I could catch about a half a dozen of these. Just easing along here, and it's funny. I mean, just from the boat to the dock to that mouth of that canal, this little flat that I'm on really changes quite a bit. Kind of jets out. It's got super shallow spots. It's got sandy spots. It's got a little bit of grass. Right here, it juts out pretty far into the channel. Right where it drops down deeper is where these trout are right now. Oh, come on. You get me? I think you did. Yeah, you did. Okay, they're still there. Oh man, this is a never-ending bucket of shrimp, guys. There's plenty in there. If I get a bite here. I switched back to the head. That was 2 casts. This will be my second cast hooking them to the tail though. I think I need to go back to the head. These trout, they're definitely a different fish than the snapper as far as how they attack. They do like to come up and hit the tail first, but they won't strip it off there as easy as a snapper. There we go. Oh, another one. Once again, should have brought the ultralight. This trout is literally getting smaller by the catch. Don't tell me you swallowed that circle hook. How'd you do that? How did you do that? Doggone it. I gotta need the pliers again. I think I can get it out. Now I gotta go into surgeon mode. If I can't get it out, I'll cut it and it'll come out. It's not bad. No sense in killing this little trout. Hold still. Hold still, buddy. I know. I feel you grunting. Sometimes you can sneak in. No. This guy's too small to sneak in underneath. Just gonna have to cut this. I'll be right back with you guys. Let me just let this fish go. Actually, now I can turn it sideways. Oh. There we go. There we go. Wasn't that much meat there. Just needed to rip it. All right, and he's off. Left him out a little too long. He's swimming slowly, but he's swimming, and he's heading to where he came from, so he's got his bearings. Okay, little trout. Call for little shrimp. Well, I tell you what, if this was, if I had a fire rod in my hand, if this was a creek out in front of me, if these were rainbow trout, this would be epic. Down here, it's a Thursday. These are just little bitty trout. They're not in the best real estate. The better the fish, the better the real estate they get to hang out in. These guys are just on this little sand flat out on the edge here, trying to eke out a living. They better be careful out on the big flats, because big brother trout likes to eat little brother trout and everything else that's out there likes to eat little trout. Oh, what's going on now? Am I getting into a mess of pinfish? Something just flipped out there. We will try one more shrimp, and then I'm going to move a little bit along. I might have spooked that school off, or took too long getting that last fish released. Wouldn't mind a big trout. Wouldn't mind a big 20-inch trout at all. I got something. There we go. Lighten up this drag a little bit. There we go. They're still there, but I can't lighten this drag enough. These little guys are just so weak. That's why they are called weakfish. Now, those rainbow trout, they pull. They pull. They live in that water with all that current. They're constantly swimming. They're thick, too. Big shoulders. These speckled trout, nickname for them is, I think up north they call them weakfish. All the fish names in the sea, there's no name for a strong fish. We've got weakfish. Oh, boy, they're stealing my bait like a snapper. You got weakfish, but no strong fish. What could we name the strong fish? How about Jack? It's kind of a weird name. His name is Jack. We could change that to strongfish. We fish strongfish. Pull hard. Taste no good. There we go. What the heck? Just trying to let this circle hook do its job. Not trying to do too much with it. Don't be jumping away. I'm running low. I know there's got to be one big trout out there in this here trout hole I'm on. All right, at least we got away from them ladyfish. Man, these little trout, I'm going to move it down just a pinch here. These trout are getting smart. There could be some pinfish getting mixed in with them too now, actually. People complain, I'm catching little trout. I want to catch something else. Hey, enjoy it. Dang, I think I sprung a new leak in my left shoe. I can feel it flowing. I'm gonna have a couple gallons of water to dump out. Hey, I tell you what, this is fun. This is fun. Worth the price of admission. Just pretend like those mangroves are big hardwoods. This pretty clear water is mountain streams. And that speckled sea trout was a rainbow trout. And I'd be back in Blue Ridge. Instead, I'm here in paradise. Blue Ridge is nice to visit, but this is home. What was that? What was that? What was I talking about before that fish hit? Can't remember. Y'all remind me. Oh, I think I said these could be some pinfish getting in here. And don't complain if you're catching fish. Hey, as long as we ain't catching hardhead catfish. Just before, literally, I'm walking back through area and I was getting ready to change off that bobber, that float, and I saw a stingray. And it's like, man, we did kind of we're at the slack tide. It's starting to come in a little bit, but I was like, I really want to put this shrimp on the bottom. You don't want no stingray. So, hey, I could be catching stingray and catfish right now. Thank God we're not. We are catching spotted sea trout. I tell you, the wind is laid down. This is going to be really a nice spot to come to with the east wind. With the west wind, I can hit that other flat. I can do just what I'm doing right here, and if there's nothing on it, I can cast it as far as I can and then just let it float. and drift across and being right on that flat. It's a huge flat, guys. It's massive. There's some sandbars, there's some deeper pockets, there's some deeper water behind it. It's just a really nice spot. There should be plenty of fish coming off of that flat. Redfish, bigger trout, jack, little bullies coming down through here. Instead of strong fish, if I had to name a jack, I'd name him bully fish. They're like bullies. They just come busting through. You never know what they're gonna do, when they're gonna show up. Yeah, a little lighter tackle is what I need here to have fun with these guys. To have more fun, even more fun than I'm having currently. There we go. Got the drag set now. They can pull some drag. Yeah, they're still out there, coming up with friends. Little 12-inch trout skis. And this one's going to return my shrimp. Yes, sir. That was nice of you. He's got a little parasite on his mouth. Alright, got him kind of hooked wonky through the head. He ain't gonna look right, but we'll see. See if we can trick him anyway. Yeah, I've had too many stretches of time fishing and days fishing where you ain't catching nothing. So if you're catching ladyfish, quit complaining. If you're catching whiting, reel them in. I'm kind of glad I never had to get super fussy to have fun catching fish. Grew up fishing with my grandpa and my dad, and my grandpa was blind Korea vet. Took a mortar to the face, and anyway, so this is kind of how we grew up fishing. Not the trout, but in the creeks for redfish, just shrimp, and offshore fishing for grouper. Simple, live bait, drop it down, hold on. So we live in the tarpon capital of the world. We never did tarpon fish, never. I caught a few little guys here and there using artificials and stuff, just as bycatch, but you know, going out all day for 4 or 5 bites maybe and jumping a fish or whatever, even I guess having a great day and landing a few, just wasn't our thing. So I haven't done it. I could have a blast doing it if I went out with a guide. I could learn it myself if I wanted to devote the time, but I don't. Like I said, I wouldn't mind maybe doing it once. I should probably do it once with a captain and go out and really have a great shot at it. But spending 6-8 hours, like some of them guys, you know, you might not even get a bite. It's just not my idea of fun. It's all about that bite. I gotta let him fight for a little bit longer. You know, we're trying to figure out the bite over there at the dock, and we got into the snapper. And we pulled it out, went a little further out behind the boat, a little deeper water, and we got into the ladyfish. And then we got into a couple sheephead. There's got to be a hole in this bucket. I thought I had more than that. It's my last shrimp, guys. And then we actually did figure out the sheephead. We could have stayed there and probably caught a couple more. They weren't as on fire as all these critters have been. The snapper and the ladyfish. And then look at this. A nice little end of the morning. Let's see, how long's it been, guys? It ain't even been 2 hours. Yeah, it's been about 2 hours total. I haven't even been fishing for 2 hours, though. And look at all these trout we're catching. Now, if we can just get one on our last fish here, on my last bait, Come on. I think I got him. Come on. There he is. There he is. We're hooked up on the last shrimp of the day. Ooh, a couple snook going by. Or mullet. And look what we got. A respectable little trout. Biggest trout of the morning. Guys, I wish I'd have found you earlier. I could have done this all morning. This is even more fun than what we were doing. Guys, look at that. Pretty little trout. Been chewed on right there when he was younger. It's a rough life being a fish out here. Out in the wild. This ain't the mountains, buddy. Everything is after you down here. Don't make me get out my pliers. Come on. I know if I stick my finger in there to get it out, you're going to bite me. There. Get that turned around. Actually, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do for you. Cut that hook. We're done fishing anyway. Beautiful. Beautiful morning. Well, guys, I think that's going to do it. It's been an eventful morning. We've got, what did we catch here? 4 species. Yeah, we got sheephead, trout, snapper, and ladyfish. I don't know. I had 3 dozen fish. I bought 3 dozen baits, and I must have caught 36 fish. So I don't know how many he gave me there. They hooked me up down at Old Eldridge Marine. But anyway, try to keep the sun there out of your eyes. I appreciate you guys watching. All right, guys, that's it. I'm gonna end this video here because my battery died, and the other 2 batteries I brought did end up getting wet, so they're a little salty. I don't even want to try them right now. But that's all I've got for you guys. I appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time in the harbor. And just so y'all know that I wasn't lying, look at these snook down here. They just wanted nothing to do with me. Look at all the bait. Big sheephead. Man, I don't even know if you guys are gonna be able to see them. There's a snook right there along that shadow line. They're just stacked with snapper. That's the problem. Man, look at all them snapper. Holy cow, guys, if I could throw a cast net right here. There is snook. I can't believe that they didn't hit me. Look at that snook right there. Look at all these sheephead. Dude. Huge sheephead. That wasn't like that when I first got here this morning. Man. Anyway. Well, that's fishing for you guys. We'll see you. Look at that fish. That's a 40. That is a 40-inch snook. Holy cow. Let's see if I can get a picture of you guys for sticking around until the end. Golly, that's a big fish. Wow. Man, there's just so much life. We'll be back with a little different approach next time. But sure enough, man, them fish, they are stacked. They're stacked all around here. I don't know why. Them little snapper, I think, is the problem. Just getting it before anything else could. Big sheephead. All right, guys, thanks for watching.